Vikings at Bills, 7-1 Vikings. The one loss, that one pesky L, can they continue their winning ways in Buffalo? Buffalo, a 6-win team. I got to say, Griff, I'm going to give you my take here, and it may surprise you, but I obviously want your opining before my opining.
Well, I think so much depends on, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a game time decision if Josh Allen plays. If Josh Allen doesn't play, I think you got to go with the Vikings in this game. I mean, I think the Vikings are kind of feeling themselves. We saw that video come out of Cousins on the plane after the game last week, or he got his shirt off and he's dancing. I mean, they're in the groove, man. They're feeling it. They're buying into what's going on there. And I think even with Josh, there's obviously some injury problems. I think I'm going to go with the Vikings. I see the Bills on kind of a skid right now. I think they're going to be fine long term, but I think they're in kind of a midseason skid. I like the Vikings in this game.
I think there's a case for what you said, but I do think Keenum can pull it out. I think it's a next man up mentality in Buffalo, and I believe that the fans are going to be just Buffalo enough to win this game. I don't think the Vikings are ready. I don't think they're ready for that stadium. I'm going to take the Bills at home. Lions, the new America's team, Detroit Fighting Lions, 2-6, a way better 2-6 team than some people might know.
Doesn't it seem that way? It seems like when you, the other day I actually saw their record and I was like, wait, they only have 2 wins?
Right.
It seems like they're better than that, but
I think they're going to be better than that, Griffin. I think they're going to beat the Bears.
Well, okay.
Go ahead.
No, I think you're onto something there. People are starting to get high on the Bears a little bit. You can sense it, you feel it. People are starting to buy in to Fields a little bit. I mean, they still lost last week, but they played a close game against the Dolphins. They got Claypool in the mix now. But I think this is a game the Lions win. I think you're right. I think from what we've seen, even though the record might not reflect that, from what we've seen, the Lions are a tougher football team. And I think that'll show up this weekend.
Okay, just to elaborate on my point, this is a big game, right? This is a division game. Both these teams hate each other, all that stuff. But beyond that, I'm just going to say something, and I may take some heat for this, but I'm willing to stand behind it. Can we stop coddling Justin Fields? Can we stop protecting this guy? Like, he was good. I mean, he made some mistakes. He made some bad throws, but I mean, did you see the way he scrambled? And he is a playmaker. I'm not trying to crap on him or anything.
Right.
But can we be honest? The media is protecting this guy so much, and it's so sick. It's so sickening. Like, as a pure fan, I get it. He's a young QB. He doesn't exactly have a ton of targets. It seems like Mooney or no one. And he definitely needs some help, and the running game could use some work. And there's a lot of questions on defense, so they're giving up some points, yada, yada, yada. But do you feel that way at all? Am I out on an island here with that?
I think you're onto something there. I think there's bigger reasons why we're not seeing the criticism of him that we probably should see. Reasons that are probably almost more cultural, bigger life things going on in this day and age where no one wants to be canceled, right?
Sure.
So I think
is it worth can I just say, can an ESPN commentator go on NFL Live and say, hey, he's been struggling, he needs to step it up, like he's not that good right now? Like, it's just an honest statement.
I don't know. I mean,
can you say that?
I don't know. We haven't really heard it, like you said. We haven't heard it too much. But I do hear a lot of things about Trevor Lawrence, the guy who's only been a winner. He was the #1 pick, but there's holding his feet to the fire, you know. And he's been on terrible football teams the last 2 years. Last year was a disaster with that coach. And of course he can improve. But I have heard people more vocal against a Trevor Lawrence than a Justin Fields, even, same draft class. Unfortunately, we haven't had, the chance to see Trey Lance, see what people would say about him, really. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Trey was playing, what the word would be on him. Yeah, I think you're onto something. Your theory is not incorrect.
Yeah, and in this game, I think we both got Detroit. You just talked about him. Trevor Lawrence, he's on the road. Ooh, hostile environment. KC, 3-6 Jags taking on the 6-2 Chiefs. I feel like the Chiefs are finding it. They're figuring it out. We had some
Yeah.
questions, and they're being Andy Reid led. He's a good coach, and he finds ways to figure it out. What's your read on this game, Griff?
Yeah. I mean, Jacksonville is not going into Kansas City and winning this football game. It's just not happening unless there's a major injury. I'm getting a sense of something going on. I like the Chiefs in this game.
I too like the Chiefs. I felt something coming there, but it was just dry scalp. That's all. 3-5 Browns at the 6-3 Dolphins. Okay, I feel like the Dolphins, everybody was talking about them, and then we saw some things that made us have some questions. And now they're midseason form, 6-3. What is your take? Are they still the team that you talked about early on? Are they going to be that front runner in the AFC East come season's end?
Oh, 100%. They're great. I mean, and they're going all in this year. We saw them at the trade deadline making moves. Bringing in guys like Jeff Wilson, who Mike Daniel is already familiar with. I mean, they've got so many playmakers on both sides of the ball at this point. I see it coming down to them and the Chiefs possibly, and the Bills. I mean, one of those three teams I think is going to represent the AFC. And if Josh Allen is hurt and misses some time, then you're really looking at the Chiefs and Dolphins. And the Dolphins, they can beat the Chiefs, no doubt in my mind. We saw them go through a skid with all the Tua stuff. It seems like that was a distraction. He wasn't playing. But now that he's playing, he just has to be serviceable. He has to be good enough. And I think he's, rose to the occasion so far. And I think they'll keep doing it this week. The Dolphins are going to get another victory.
The 6-1 Texans who came out and listen, they punched Philly in the mouth, and then Philly punched back, and they're going into that New York Meadowland, Jersey / New York, in this middle kind of wasteland of an area where the Giants play. But the Giants are good, man. I've been trying to sell you on this, Griffin. I hope you're starting to see the light. The Giants are a good team as long as, and this is always the asterisk, if Saquon can stay on the field, and he is the glue, but they come unglued every year because I'm trying not to speak things into existence because that's how the world can work sometimes. But I think I'm feeling it. Like I'm feeling like he's going to have one of those games where it happens. And then all the Giants fans are going to have that collective sigh. And here we are, kind of is said again and again and again. And Griffin, I feel like after what the Eagles did to Houston, I feel like Houston wants something. And I'm calling an upset here.
Wow.
And I think this is a game that the Giants can lose. They'll be okay in the long run. Maybe not in the NFC East, depending on how the Eagles fare if they stay hot. But real talk, I mean, the Giants are a wild card contender in the NFC. The Texans are playing with house money at this point. They're hard hitting. They're going for it. I mean, it's insane. So, and not only that, but Damian Pierce, this guy is coming out of nowhere. And of course, Schrager calls him out of nowhere, like he always calls the start. I need to go to the casino with Peter Schrager and be like, dude, just pick whatever, and just here's my money, just spend it. But yeah, so for me, I got to take the Texans in the upset here. What do you think?
Wow, you're high on the Giants, and then you just drop them like that. You pick, one of the worst teams in football to beat them. I'm on the Giants this week. I think the Giants get it done. They're benefiting from a weak schedule, playing that awful division they're in as well, just like your Eagles. I know this is, they're playing the Texans. Hey, come on. Giants are going to win this game.
Griffin, you got to learn the art of the compliment sandwich. You build them up, then you break them down, then you build them up again.
No, okay.
That's what they do. All right. So this team that I predicted to be so hot, in fact, Griffin, that I predicted them to be one of the two front runners in the NFC, the Saints, they are not looking so hot. They are 3-6. Jameis is not the answer. What is going on in New Orleans? Trade talks for Kamara, he's still there, but I don't know. And also, boy, was I wrong about the Steelers team. This is that young, fast, sexy team that I thought maybe sitting at 6-2. Now they're sitting at the reciprocal. And I don't know what to think about either of these teams because I thought this could be a game, an outlier Super Bowl matchup on the
Oh,
fringes, right? Like that
yeah. I mean, this
libertarian
isn't
1% vote.
2004. Yeah, you're
Oh,
probably
wow.
one of those guys.
Callback. Like it.
Yeah. I like the Steelers in this game. I mean, this bores me. These two teams. This is like it's like an early 2000s throwback. That's just like, haven't we seen this? Like, it's like they're still kind of trying to play some of the same players or play the same type of game. Let's move on. I think the league has passed these teams by. It's done. Move on. I'll pick the Steelers in this game. I think Pickens has a big game with Claypool out of the picture now.
I'm going to take the Saints on the road. Compliment sandwich. That time I broke them down. Then I built them up. Then
There you
broke them
go.
down again. Broncos. This team, this horse, something is going on. I think you need to check the clogs because they are on the struggle bus, 3-5, and they're rolling into Tennessee, who I predicted to be a really, really good team this year in the AFC. They're sitting at 5-3. They're looking good. Griffin, is this the week that Russell Wilson silences people like me and puts it together? The All-American quarterback, Russell Wilson, is he going to do it this week? What say you?
No, it's not going to happen. I think we saw the Titans. They're kind of putting the pieces together, figuring it out like they seem to do the last few years. Vrabel, I mean, this guy's a great coach. And he's got Ryan Tannehill and this kid from Liberty now playing quarterback,
Yeah,
filling in for
Malik Willis.
Tannehill. And they held their own with the Chiefs. You know, like you don't want to go down the whole moral victory route, but that's what they had last week. I mean, they're right there with the Chiefs during that game. I think they'll use that momentum, even though it was a loss. I think they feel good about it to a degree, and they'll win this week.
Yeah, I got the Titans at home. The 3-5-1 Colts, but a team both of us predicted. You predicted them to
Yeah.
be the AFC representative, Matt Ryan getting his due. They're taking on a Raiders team that both of us, me especially, predicted to be super hot this year. I mean, Devontae Adams is crushing it, league leading set, 7-8 touchdowns, something like that. But his team sucks, man. And Green Bay's missing him desperately. I feel like they should do a trade back. Be like, I didn't mean it. I'm so sorry. I didn't
Right.
mean the comment that I said. Well, when you go from one Hall of Fame quarterback to another Hall of Fame quarterback, it's kind of like no big deal. I think that he was wrong. I don't think Derek Carr's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No. The Raiders are a dumpster fire. I mean, Josh McDaniels, I think, is proving again that maybe he's just not head coach material. He's not a leader of men, but there is a leader of men now in charge of the Colts in Jeff Saturday. I'm a believer in this guy. I know his only experience is coaching high school football at a Christian school in Atlanta, Georgia. But I think this guy, you hear him talk, he knows how to lead men, and I think that's what they needed. I think there's something to say for a guy that's raw. They're giving some young guys a shot to play, to call the plays. I think this is going to rally the Colts. I picture a Disney movie. We saw the Kurt Warner movie. I picture a movie about Jeff Saturday 5-10 years from now, because I think he's going to lead the Colts on a tear. They might not lose another game this year. I'm a believer in this, and I think the Colts start it this week.
I think Jeff Saturday, one of the best centers of all time, should have a movie streaming on Disney Plus, but release it on Saturday. You have to release it on Saturday. Any other day would be blasphemous.
Of course.
Yeah, I got the Colts too on the road. 425. Them boys, baby. Them boys, 6-2. Listen. They're a good team. The Dallas Cowboys are a good football team. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not a good team, but they are not a great team. And I'm not going to say they're going to lose this week. I think they're going to get a win, but I'm just going to come out and say that I don't think the Cowboys are as good as everybody's saying they are. I do think this is an opportunity for Pollard to really kind of push the Cowboys to make a decision in the coming years. And I also think it puts the pressure on his agent to like push some buttons with Dallas as his contract comes to a close. What say you about this matchup though? Dallas at Green Bay.
I mean, I think everything on paper and everything you see, you want to pick the Cowboys, right? But everyone has been talking smack this past week or two now about Aaron Rodgers. Is he done? Should he have retired? I mean, the guy has no weapons around him. Zero. No. I think Aaron is going to tell everyone to relax. Big Sunday afternoon game against the Cowboys, kind of a statement game. I think he's going to make his mark. Aaron Rodgers is going to will the Packers to victory over the Cowboys. I mean, no basis for this other than feeling and that chip on Aaron Rodgers' shoulder, which I think is a huge motivator for that man. He's going to use it to will that team to win. I'm not sure who he's going to throw the ball to, but he'll get it done.
Aaron Rodgers over anticipated how good his rookies would progress, because some would say that, like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers makes receivers. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a receiver creator like Tom Brady. I think he's more of a receiver utilizer, but I think Tom Brady would be like a greater creator. So in other words, like, you know, like a Jesus light, not to be blasphemous, but like,
right,
if there were a man on this earth that could be the Antichrist and believable, it could be Tom Brady. Like, I'm just saying, he's like one of the few. Name somebody that could like live and play football till they're 60.
Sure, it's a fact.
Cardinals, Rams, who you got?
I'm taking the Cardinals in this game. Stafford dealing with concussion stuff. I mean, he'll probably play. I think the Rams are kind of a mess. I'll go with the Cardinals.
All right, I'll take the Rams at home. Chargers, your beloved Chargers, who you predicted to go very far in the AFC. 5-3, not bad. They're taking on your boys, the Niners, the Sunday night game. What's your read?
Niners are back after a bye week, fully healthy. We'll get to see Christian McCaffrey, Debo, the great quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, that incredible Niners defense. They are going to roll over the Chargers. It won't even be a close game. You can turn it off at halftime and go to bed and get enough rest Sunday night. Look for the Niners to win.
I'll take the Chargers on the road. And side note, Jalen Hurts has more touchdowns and less interceptions than Jimmy G. Look it up for yourself, kids. Monday night, the Commies at the Eagles, 4-5. Carson Wentz probably not playing. It's going to be my Heineke. I'm looking for the ads. They still haven't made them. They're not listening to the show. I'm going to take the Birds at home. Who you got?
Eagles will get another victory. Really benefiting from that simple, easy schedule they have. They'll lose eventually. Not this week, though.
I agree they'll lose eventually, but not in the playoffs. And that, my friends, is the latest and greatest mid-season sway with Radio Griff. Wet weather outside, fur inside. But Griff will never, ever, ever leave without the sage lyrical wisdom of zombie Tom Petty.
Something the Phillies or the Eagles or that soccer team in Philly will never get to say anytime soon. It's good to be king.